Welcome to the cast. Thanks for joining us today. As you can see, some things went wrong with the hosting because they put me, Timmy, here. But I also have Emily as my co-host, and then we have the Peanut Gallery. And our guests. Who are our guests, Emily?
Who are our guests? We have Eli and Julia Phillips. Thank you for joining us. Are you nervous? Excited?
We'll call it both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to talking about ourselves, we're not experts.
Okay.
We're very, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm very bad at talking about myself. So, here we are.
It'll be just like a conversation. No pressure whatsoever. You just say or don't say whatever you want. Okay? Does that sound like it? I don't know how much you guys are involved in listening to the podcast. Hopefully you are. I don't know. Timmy might beat in your head to make sure you can hear all his
I let
good
them do
work.
what they want.
Hey, I've listened to every episode, and he's listened to about 0. So,
Approximately 3.
approximately
That sounds right
parts
from what
of
you've
3.
said. Yeah,
Margie
about 3.
is not approving
Oh, she's
of that.
judging so hard.
Do you know who Margie is?
I believe it's the plant. See, look, I know
She's
things.
Margie.
See, the thing is that when it comes to stories like that, Tim tells us before that even came out.
Yes.
So,
Never
we
mind.
knew
Understandable.
Marjorie.
Way to go.
Oh, Margie.
Ruin the moment.
He's
No,
just weak.
just kidding.
Wow.
Well, so
They got anything for us today, Emily?
I was going to say, Julia's probably familiar that the Peanut Gallery always has something entertaining for us, so we will let them take over. Shannon?
I want to know what 3
Shannon's turn.
episodes you've watched.
That's true.
I listened to the first Pastor Dodd one, and then I realized today I needed to figure out what show I had signed up to be on, so I quickly listened to Ricky, Darren, and Aaron.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good ones.
Yeah.
I had insider info.
You need to, yeah, I mean, you listen, Shannon Tia's good. We're waiting to get Gary and
Melissa.
Tim Melissa's was good. Gary and Holly were waiting on to get in here.
I promise I don't have anything against the podcast. I just haven't got to it.
He does listen to about 12 other podcasts that he already says he's behind
We're not
on.
high
So,
enough
like,
in the rank.
Yeah.
you're just
Not yet.
new. He already had committed.
Yeah.
I get that.
My heart
Yeah.
hurts.
Subscribe to it. That way you get a notification.
I haven't listened to any.
What you got, Shanimal?
Wow.
I have it's not really a quiz. These are true and false statements. Basically, you have a 50-50 chance of getting this right. So, you just kind of have to throw out your answer, whatever you think. We'll start off with something that basic science. Boiling water is 100 degrees Celsius. True or false?
True.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
You all think it's true?
I'm going to roll with it.
It's correct. Good one. That was easy. A black box in a plane is black. True or false?
False.
No. False.
True.
What?
The black box that's in all aircrafts, basically, are black.
I'm going to roll with
False.
false.
Sure, false.
I said true.
Eli goes with true.
I know what color it is.
It's orange.
Oh, yeah.
But at one time they were black. But I think in the 60s, I think it said that they started making
A little hard to
paint it.
find in the rubble.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like in the
Burnt
ocean.
rubble.
Yeah.
It just blended, so it made sense to paint it something else.
Wow.
But it's still called the black box. And it's also got it's an engineering background. You familiar with that? Because anything in a black box, okay, we won't get into that.
So, yeah,
but
no,
that's another reason why it was called that. True or false? Wait.
If you were listening to the last podcast, you'll know this answer.
You will? Koalas
Oh, I thought you were
are a type of bear. True or false?
False.
False.
I'll say true just to be different.
They look kind of like a bear.
They're called
gonna roll
koala
with
bears.
They are called
False
koalas.
on that one.
They are a marsupial, so not in the bear family.
They got a pouch.
Got a
like
pouch.
a kangaroo.
Gotcha.
There is something interesting. Fun fact of koalas. We'll get back to that. Where we at?
not here.
Oh yeah, I kind of gave this away on the last one. True or false? Potatoes have more potassium than bananas. See, this came up naturally in the last podcast.
I've forgotten though.
That's how
False.
weird.
True.
True.
Potatoes
True?
do have more
gotta be.
potassium than bananas.
Boy, I'm done.
So if you hate bananas, get you a potato.
I'd never heard of a black box, if that helps.
Boil them, mash
Wow.
them, stick them in a stew.
You've never heard of a black?
I don't think it matters. I think as long as you get a potato. So like French fries from McDonald's. all
Oh,
the
that
potassium
counts?
Right there.
All right.
Sure, why not?
Great.
And both of them are radioactive. Just FYI,
Good.
we
good.
covered that.
Great.
True or false? I already read that one. One of the key ingredients to Worcestershire sauce How do you pronounce that? Worcestershire.
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 One of the key ingredients to that one sauce is anchovies.
Gross.
True. I'm gonna roll with true on that one.
True.
Oh, Gary says no, so I'm gonna say false.
Do you know what an anchovy is?
Yeah, they're
there,
nasty.
I know it's something I don't want anywhere near me.
I don't think you've ever ate one.
I don't
Certainly
want it anywhere
not.
near me.
But it is actually true. It's fermented anchovies give the sauce its signature taste.
Gross.
Here's another science one that Eli, I'm sure, will get. True or false?
I have a reputation I can't uphold.
The sound of hot water and cold water are different when they're poured.
True.
Wait
For
a minute.
science
You're so
reasons.
The sound
I know
of
this
hot
one.
water and cold water are
You can
It's
tell the
definitely
difference.
true.
or
True.
aren't different.
They are
The
different.
statement was they are different.
They actually sound different when you pour hot water and cold water. True or
I'll go
false?
with
Why is
false.
that?
True.
Something about like the temperature of the air particles and the way they mix, but like they've run tests where like they have like people blind listen to them to prove it. And like statistically,
Nerd.
people can get them every time, right? Majority of the time.
We're going to have to do it. We're going to do it
yes.
for real on the podcast.
Can we do science experiments?
Of course.
Like
Yes.
elementary
Yes.
school
We do whatever
science
we want.
experiments?
Get one of
Pastor
those
Chris
bottles.
isn't here.
Yes.
Get down and boil water right now.
They say it has
At
to
100
do
degrees
with
Celsius.
Yes.
the viscosity's changed with a hotter liquid.
big
So
word.
Interesting.
Viscosity.
kind of like affects
Yeah.
that. So that's what they kind of said by that.
It's not my vocabulary.
And that is it. I thought I had 6, but it looks like I only had 5 down here.
No.
All right. Well.
Oh well.
So
Cool.
who won?
I think we all lost.
Yeah.
You're all losers.
That's great. We're all
we go.
losers, as Tim says. Thanks for the reminder, Tim. We appreciate
We
that.
have like things on the podcast when it goes on now. You're all losers.
You're all losers. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Okay. Well, Shannon, he may throw some things later on in the podcast. You just never know with him. So be aware. Be aware. Okay. So we're going to kind of jump into the podcast now, get more to the meat of it, to get to know you guys. If you guys have, I'm sure, noticed the last couple years, we have had a lot of younger people come to our church, which is super exciting. It means the church is growing. You have kids, things like that. So we're really happy to have a younger group come in and be interviewed tonight. That does not mean anybody else previously is old. Just,
But we're
glad to have
young.
young.
Yeah, look at that.
We have had a tendency to interview a lot of people that are, say, in the age group of most of our podcast team, of which Emily is the youngest by like quite a bit. The rest of us are pretty close in age. And we've not really talked to a whole lot of people under, say, age 30.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's interesting to get that perspective of
Absolutely.
those in our church.
Yep, it's all important. So I don't know if you have any particular things that you want to throw in tonight, but you're more than welcome to deep dive chat about whatever. But we're going to kind of start off asking, how did you guys meet? Shannon says it's a very important story that we have to talk about.
So, we both went to IU, and he lived at the Christian Student Fellowship house on campus.
Christian fraternity, similar to
Yeah.
Chi Alpha,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah, they just own a house, so you can live on campus but still be in like a Christian home. And he lived there. I also lived there, but his first year, my best friend lived there, and so like I was around all the time. And apparently, it's a really great story that we both went to Doctor Strange when it came out, and I was just invited with a group of people from CSF to go along with them. I didn't know him. He remembers me being there. I don't remember him being there. He calls that our first date, though.
We had a whole conversation.
Wow.
That's funny. You don't remember your first date.
You had a whole
Apparently his
conversation?
brother was there too.
Yeah, I brought Joe along. It was a great time. You know,
I have
everyone
no
wants to
idea.
bring their little brother
Listen,
on their first date.
My memory's not great. I have the memory of like a goldfish.
You
if
remember
even that.
getting married, right?
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yes, I remember that.
That's important.
Photos.
6 years ago, almost to the day.
Wow.
Wow. Happy early
Late.
anniversary? Late
June 6th.
anniversary? June 6th.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that's when we first met, but that's when
I believe that was the first time. And then, like, we went and hung out in a group. Like, we went and got donuts really late one night, a different time. We were Steak and Shake together often. Like, we hung out several times over the course of that year leading up to the year where we actually, you remember meeting me. And then we started dating.
So you went on like 20 dates before you knew.
Nice.
I was the other person in 50 First Dates where I was just like, I remember everything and nothing's sticking with this person.
So how we actually met was when I lived there. We became really close, the two of us and our friend Mariah. The three of us would hang out all the time. We'd stay up all night. There were many times that we went to bed at like 6 a.m. because we were just hanging out with a group of people. And that's when we became good friends. And then we started dating, like a month into the semester?
Something like that,
give or take.
So what year was this?
2018?
2017.
17. Yeah.
We got
17?
engaged in 2018.
Yeah, it was close.
I feel a look going this way, and it's
I'm
just kind
very,
of like
very good at the
shouldering.
look.
I can see.
Stop
She's
looking
an
at Marjorie
expert.
like that.
Stop looking at Marjorie.
To be fair, Marjorie's probably looking at her like that.
That's
true.
probably true.
It's just a reciprocation.
So 2017 started dating, and then 2020 got married.
Yep.
Okay, in the midst of COVID. Is that
It was a fun time.
I was gonna say,
We
how'd that go down?
Uninvited about 200 people from our wedding.
Nice.
A couple months before.
Yep. It wasn't a great time. We won't get into the details, but
Sure.
there was a lot of head-butting,
Sure.
particularly with my side of the family.
Sure.
Lots of different opinions, but that's all. Timmy's heard a lot of it.
I know it.
That's all in the past now, thankfully.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Good. So, both of you, before you even met, were you? I know Eli from when he was little as well, but Julie, I don't know a lot about background. So, I don't know, whoever wants to start first, that's fine. Kind of tell us.
How'd you meet Jesus?
Yeah, exactly. How did you meet Jesus?
They don't know you, so you can go first.
nobody knows me.
A lot of them don't know you. Keep that in mind.
True.
Yeah, I was raised going to church. We were kind of church hoppers. We had about 2 or 3 different churches that we would go to for a couple of years, and then we'd move, and then we'd go somewhere else and whatever. Yeah, I think there's about 2 that I remember going to consistently. We always went to church. We were never super involved in church, but it was always something that was like, it's just part of life. Like, I can't comprehend having a childhood without going to church. I never had like a youth group or anything like that. Like, we were Sunday morning people. We would go because my mom was hired to play piano somewhere or something. So like, that's why we would move, or we had friends that went somewhere. Sometimes we'd go to Sunday school, sometimes not. But
Yeah.
It was just kind of one of those, like, it's a constant, but it's not like the number one most important thing in life. But yeah, it's always been a thing for me.
Sure.
I never really had, like, I would say, like, a relationship with Jesus as a kid. I mean, you do, but you don't in that kind of situation. We were always, like, non-denominational churches.
Yeah.
So not really until I started going to church with you, probably, did I get, like, super deep into that kind of stuff. And even then, like, it was more of just, like, this is part of my life. This is what I do. It was, like, one of those routine things. And then once we started, like, actually leading worship at the underground, it just became more of, like, okay, I need to be more intentional with
Sure.
what we're doing. And, like, oh, we're picking set lists. Let's pray about it. Okay, sure, we'll pray about what songs we're gonna do. Like, that was never something that was really, like, the forefront of my mind for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Is it safe to say it was the first time that, like, because you weren't hopping around, you actually, like, found a spot and stayed there?
Probably, yeah.
It helped a lot
Like,
of it, yeah.
So
More
gain more
foundational,
stability. Yeah.
For
so,
sure.
So Eli, touch upon where you went to church, your thoughts, how you were raised, and then kind of where you brought Julia in.
So yeah, I was raised in church my whole life. I was born basically into Cornerstone, and, like, family was super involved there. Mom was, like, over kids ministry stuff. Dad was a board member, and, like, mom even worked in the office. So, like, I was homeschooled my whole life. So I was doing school in the office 3 days a week, and, like, off in the boardroom, the pastor would come in, hang out, and we'd play pranks on each other and stuff. So, like, I mean, it felt like I lived at that church up until I was about 12, and then we came over here for a stint of time that was very impactful. They took us back there towards the end of high school for me. We can talk more details about that, but the large part of that ended up, after I was back at Cornerstone that second time for a bit, during that time was when Julia started coming with me. We started dating, and we felt like we kind of just wanted our own independence. I mean, going to church with a bunch of family is great for many reasons that I still miss somewhat at times, but it was also hard to form my own identity there with that many people who had decided they knew me because they've known me since I was a kid. So it was nice to come back here and feel like we had our own. We had plenty of people that I knew from the stint we took. I was here when I was in high school, but it was our church now as opposed to the one that my family went to.
Yeah, I was a little bit different, I think, because I started going to his church, and then we started going to church here together. So it was more of like I walked into his family, and now we're starting like joining our own family kind of deal. Nothing against, I mean, everybody at Cornerstone is great. Yeah, but
that's really a legitimate thing. I did that in high school. Like my family always went to church, but I when I was about 16, said, "Well, I'm gonna go to church with my friends here," and then led me on a path where I own it more to this day. So there's something about that. So that's a thing.
And I look back on those years that we came over because I mean, back in like 2012, I think was when my parents had like more or less. It felt like overnight to me. I'm sure that there was more prayer and thought like discussions behind the scenes that I wasn't privy to as a 12-year-old, but overnight they're like, "Hey, yeah, we're going to this church now," and I'm like, I don't want to go over there. Like my friends are here, and like I kind of fought with it for a bit, but I would say that the 4-ish years we were there or we were here for that time was like some of the most spiritually impactful. It was like under Steve Terry as youth pastor. Certainly helped me a lot, like my general spiritual walk, as well as like got me into the church band stuff that's been really important since, and even introducing me to like getting me plugged in with the youth group, but more importantly the youth leaders. I mean, people like Tim, Ken, Shannon, Tia.
No, not me.
You were there.
Not me.
Because Shannon didn't talk to you.
You may have been after Ken, but you were there.
Yeah. See, he told Julia about all the different people that impacted him here, except me.
I don't think I said it quite like that.
We did.
I never came up.
I said I'd heard many stories about Ricky because they would go to movies together. And
that's
Ricky's
a good movie.
very
And I was there
special.
He was there. We've established.
And I just didn't know that.
We've established Julia has a bad memory, Shannon. We
That's
can't believe everything.
Maybe he talked about you, and I just didn't know it.
That's
probably very,
true.
very, very legitimate.
We'll go with that.
But it's like back then, like all these adults just kind of adopted me into their friend group a little bit. Like let me like I was on the band with them all. I was going to movies with them all the time, and like I felt like I connected more with them than some of the kids my own age at that point. But
it just turned you into an old man.
It turned me into an old man. But I think that was. I'm sure that the rest of my family also got something out of being here for that period of time. But like I said, it felt like we left Cornerstone suddenly at that age without. I don't even think they knew why they felt like God was telling them to leave. Mm-hmm. We got there, we did this, and then that's kind of how they all went back to Cornerstone when we left. And I think a lot of that was so I had roots here to get in my adult life. Because I mean, I wouldn't have picked this church out of any other one in Bedford when I decided to leave Cornerstone and make my own identity the first time. But I think a lot of that was some foundational stuff I learned here.
So, okay, you might have mentioned this, but remind me, when did you start coming back here?
In 2018.
In 2018.
Okay, and then that's when you came.
Yes.
We were both coming.
Gotcha. So when did you guys start worship team? Was it one of you had started? I know you said you had dabbled in it, and then I know you went to school for music, correct? Okay. Mm-hmm. So when did you guys start into the worship team specifically here, and then we'll get to the underground? I
mean, basically, as soon as we started coming here, you were basically back on stage immediately. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just because they all knew him. Like, this is where I believe you started.
Yeah, like I said, I started when I was 14
guitar.
With Steve. Oh, that's it.
You want a story?
Ready.
You want a story? All right.
Ready.
Yeah.
I had just started going back and helping with youth. It was more to help Ken with AV. This was more than a decade ago. And we were over in the gym, and at the time, the youth kind of had their own worship team, but some of the people with more skill had aged out, and we had a new group, and they weren't bad.
Mm-hmm. They were bad.
They just weren't good together.
They were bad. I had
like you had two girls that both could sing, but they struggled to harmonize, and then you had some random kid playing an acoustic guitar, and then you had Eli who was literally just learning, and it was so bad that Ken and I would walk out of the room until it was over. We'd set the board and walk out of the room. It was bad.
It was bad.
It was so bad that when he came back on stage, he blew my mind with how good he was. A lot happened in those years between.
I literally walked up to Steve Terry and said, "Hey, I picked up a guitar 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Do you want me to play?" And he's, for some unknown reason, he said yes, and then threw me up there.
Yep.
But
Gotta start somewhere.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's a great story.
good times.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I was playing on bands in church since then.
Yeah, and he was at Cornerstone too. I, for whatever reason, like, never really was on a worship team until I think I was in college, probably. And I was going to Sherwood Oaks, the big Sherwood Oaks up in Bloomington at the time. And my mom knows everybody there, so was like, "Hey, you should tell Tim Thompson that you want to sing with him." And I said,
Yeah.
"Okay."
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I was up there, my mom was like, "You looked so awkward. You looked like you did not want to be there. Like, everybody else looked like they were happy and having a good time, and you were just like pale-faced, like straight-faced." I was like, "Well, okay,
Thanks, Mom."
thanks."
Way to be encouraging.
I know.
Look less awkward. You know?
But yeah, I was probably, maybe it was before I started college when I was 17, but it wasn't, I guess, less than 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Even.
Then the CSF had a band too that we started playing on together.
Yeah. What's really weird is, and I don't know why this is, and I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but since then, because like I never really felt like I was a great singer. My instrument is classical guitar. You show me a piece of music, I will play that. I'm not gonna like improvise. I'm not gonna do anything off a chord chart. I don't play piano. I don't do any of those things. Like, I'm a classical guitarist. That's it. I will sing sometimes. I did musical theater growing up. That's fine. But since I started at Sherwood Oaks, then I wanted to be on the CSF band and I wanted to do all these things, and always felt like there was some barrier. Like, people didn't want me, or it was just hard. It probably, in reality, a lot of times is because there's a million female singers. And, like, the girls that were there, either they were the leaders or, like, Allie was incredible voice. Like, they don't need me, and they would still, like, put me on the band. Like, I think I sang 3 times in one semester. Never played piano there, but it felt really weird. Like, I was like, why does nobody want me? Like, I'm not that bad. I know I'm not great, but I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
And then I started going to Cornerstone. Like, I'd sing on Wednesday nights there some once I started going. And then we came here, and it took, nobody knew me, but it took several months before, like, I'd be like, "Hey, like, I sing too.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to be involved. I'd love to sing." And eventually I did. And then it was like, "I'd love to lead a song." And then it was like a long time. And eventually I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt like it was always like hard to get there. And now I'm like, I want to be a worship leader, and like, I'm going to be up front, and I'm going to sing, and I'm going to be in charge and whatever. I don't know.
A lot of that was when we kind of went off and started.
We started underground.
We started
too.
guerrilla worship leading by going into places and saying we're leading here.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so talk to us about the underground. First off, is that still going on?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
If it is, sorry.
Wow.
Work on your marketing, because I think you're gone.
I seen a sign sitting outside of the old church out in Fayetteville this week when I was going by.
So that is where we brought it there.
Okay.
So when we joined, they'd kind of been going on, I don't know the full backstory.
You should give an idea what it is.
Yeah.
So the underground is just a group of, it's like an entirely student-led ministry for like young adults, like college-aged adults. It's across many different churches. We would just, when we joined, there were like maybe like 5 or 6 people. Like, it was very, very small. And like, it was basically just the leaders and a couple extra people. And then we joined, and we like made it a nonprofit. We had a like board and everything, and we kind of built it into something bigger, which was really cool. We took over. So one of the leaders he goes to that church, Old Union. And so their old church building had been like not used in years, and it was trashed. Like, we cleaned up a lot of stuff out of that.
I recall a live raccoon being a story.
There was a live raccoon. There was a dead cat on the stairs. There were several other dead animals, I think. A lot of animal poop everywhere.
Wow.
We did a lot of dirty ministry work then.
We did a lot to clean that place up. But we eventually grew big enough that we used their building. We like set up the stage. We had a small but mighty worship team.
Yes.
And that was kind of like our start to leading worship. We were probably terrible at leading. We
Give
didn't know what
yourself
we were
credit.
doing. Well, we didn't know what we were doing. We've come a long way since then. But I don't know where I was going with that. What did I leave out?
I think it was mostly it. Like I said, that we, Justin Duncan and Steve Terry started Underground way back in the day. I had popped in and out of it occasionally during that time, but when we came back, they had moved on. It was mostly student-led stuff. And I trying to remember, we were playing somewhere. I think it was that when the church band played the Harp Commons thing years and years ago. The guy that was kind of trying to keep it alive walked up and said, "Hey, you look 20-something and you can play guitar. Would you want to lead worship for us?" And suddenly we just didn't leave.
Yeah.
We did that.
We had just actually been denied because we had applied to be worship leaders at CSF.
Okay.
And we got denied, and we were super angry about it. We were like, well, we have more experience than these people that you chose. We're seniors this year. We felt like every single reason.
More entitled than we should have about it.
Sure. But every single reason, at least in my mind, here's the list, the checklist. We check every single box and they don't. So why were they chosen when we weren't? And it was maybe a month later, Zach came up to you and he was like, "Hey, we need worship leaders. Will you guys at least come play once for us?" And then we just never left.
Yeah.
But God.
No, so
I hate when that happens.
It's legitimately one of those moments I look back because, I said, we were seniors. Best case scenario, we did that for a year. We moved on, did whatever with our lives, and Underground became 3 or 4 years of our lives.
So much longer than we expected.
Wow.
Days of our weeks. Just
we would be
out there.
You probably put in at least a couple 40-hour weeks cleaning up that building.
Yeah. It's not just playing music. It's, serving others and cleaning and
We bought and donated some of a bunch of sound equipment and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, I think that gave us, not that we were always very service-oriented people. I think we certainly still are. But that was one that, again, it felt like we could go make it our own a little bit and figure out what it meant to do it without, I won't say
glory.
Yeah, I won't say not a spotlight. Again, we were still on a stage trying to make, there's inherently some attention you're getting just based on the nature of what the service that we tend to do. But like I said, there was a lot of work going on that was not just on the stage comparatively.
Sure.
So then, towards the end of us doing that, we also became worship leaders here after Steve Terry left for a while, and that was a lot to juggle. That ended up being why we stopped doing Underground stuff, just because we couldn't focus
we were trying to do
both.
both for a while. And then both working full-time jobs. And it was we don't have energy for this. We're young 20s and we don't have energy for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then now you have little children running around.
And we don't have energy for that either.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your kids.
So Shepherd is just over 2. And he's a terror. We love him so much. I think every single person in this church has adopted him.
He's the church's kid now.
He is the church's kid, and that's okay. That's okay. Everybody knows about Shepherd and his red ball.
Yes.
And then Shane is almost 3 months now.
Wow. That's gone by fast already.
I know.
So now you're back up singing. You guys was it this past week you were up there, or a week before?
We've been back for a little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
I started back. Was it all of last month?
I don't remember.
I think so.
We have 2 kids now. I don't remember things.
Time has been time, and we don't know what it is. But we're back up there, and
okay. Well, so I know you had mentioned earlier, now that you're more into this church, you guys together, you had mentioned something I really liked. You didn't want to go somewhere where people already said that they thought they knew you. I really like that a lot. That stuck with me. And so now that you guys are here, you're kind of set in stone. You have a foundation. You've brought children here. You had mentioned, this is kind of what I'm getting to. You had mentioned this is where I started getting closer to the Lord. So walk us through kind of how you talk to the Lord. What is your daily conversation with him? Or for younger people out here that have little kids running around, you have no time and you're tired, you can't juggle it all. So how do you keep the Lord in your life and keep it, continuing on growing.
Yeah. Daily's hard.
Sure.
Daily's really hard, and I do my best, and some days I fail, and that's okay. The Bible app has saved me many times.
Okay.
I'm the kind of person that it's like anytime I think, okay, I want to do like my daily devotionals or read or whatever it is, I don't know where to start. And so having like built-in plans, lifesaver. Okay. I did one year, I think on there's like a Bible in a year kind of deal.
Yes.
And then there's the Bible Project has the little videos
Yes,
that go along
those
with
are
it.
good.
And so I would like listen to those videos on my drive to work, and I would do that kind of stuff. Anything that's like they have videos that's really helpful to me, especially if I'm home. I have a baby glued to my arms right now, and that's just the phase of life we're in. So videos or reading it to me really helps.
Sure.
I've always had devotion books sitting on the coffee table, and I'll do it for like 3 days, and then I just never pick the book back up again. And that's
a common thing.
Yeah, it is.
And everybody has to find their own niche. And
For
so if, listening to the app on your phone on your way to work, if that works, then awesome, And like you said, daily is a struggle.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
And the more
So,
you do it, the easier it is.
Yeah. Good point.
Something that helps as almost a touch point is the fact that like we're trying to instill praying before bed to shepherd every night. Like sometimes going through the day you forget, and shepherd's prayers are rather simple at this point. We like to pray for the donkeys across from my parents' house quite often.
The donkeys that walk in the grass. Pray for the donkeys that walk in the grass.
But but it's a reminder, like, okay, this is a thing, and like take some time after or whatever too. Like trying to be more conscious of the fact that I'm instilling habits into them.
Yeah.
As maybe better than myself.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm really excited because my mom got there are these devotion books that we read when I was a kid, like good night devotions that Shepherd's just a little too young for them. But there's 2 of them, and she got them for me so that when he is old enough, we're going to start reading them. And I'm very, very excited.
Awesome.
I'm
That's
so
really
excited.
cool.
That is very cool. Yeah. So as you go on with the worship team, do you have like plans or aspirations to see, if you're going to continue on? Like, is that your main service, or are there other things that you're wanting to dabble in? I know, like Eli had said, in youth at one point. What are you guys, what's your challenge for yourself in the next few years? Anything particular?
We also serve in youth. So we've been serving in youth for 3 years.
About, yeah.
Basically, as long as Pastor Chris has been here.
Okay.
We started in youth a couple months before he came. So we're back there with Heidi, and I don't think we have plans to leave them any point soon.
I think we got the 2 ministries. We're very happy in both.
Yeah.
We love them
We
both.
are. We do.
We don't want a third right now,
Yeah.
and I think that's okay.
And those are
Three's a
both
lot.
heavy ones.
Yeah.
Heavy,
They
for
are.
sure, that you're involved in. And that's not just on Sunday morning or Wednesday night. You are here, well, obviously, like Monday night, but then you guys are here Thursday nights for practice, and then whatever else that you guys are involved in.
Again, like I said, sometimes we also feel like we live here now, and like
A little bit.
That's fine. Like again, that's kind of what we've always been. We've always been very service oriented people. We just kind of like, I don't know, it's just what's comfortable and known. But like, again, we joke that like we raised Shepherd in here because like he literally took his first steps on the stage during a worship practice
Towards him.
It's true.
towards Tim, because that, like I said, we're just statistically we're here all the time.
We are.
But we love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, Tim, I know you had mentioned last week in the meeting, you had some questions for them.
I have a kind of a subject that I've thought about a lot since I myself have gone to this church since I was 18. I was here through the age that they are, and we kind of became close, I guess, mostly when you guys were leading worship initially. Just because we'd sit and visit a lot after Thursdays and stuff, and odds and
We would
ends.
sit for hours
Honestly,
after those
and,
practices.
It was always interesting to hear their perspective because they were even younger at the time, and I'm like, man, it's a lot different than the time I went through, which was actually kind of a challenging time in our church when I was their age, and a lot of things kept me here as well, like the service thing. But I'm curious, I guess, your perspectives on how the church is reaching people in your age group well, or ways it could improve, if you have any thoughts on that kind of thing. Because while there
Great
are more
question.
young people here that are, when I say young people, I think in my head I'm thinking 18 to 30.
Yeah.
It's kind of the group of ages I'm thinking. is there anything we could improve? I can tell we've improved because more people are appearing. There was a time where you two were like for like
For
2
a
or
long
3
time.
years. Yeah,
I wanted to leave for a period of time because there was nobody our age.
because you can't connect.
Yeah.
Which is what Underground was actually helping scratch that moment. I've been trying to pinpoint like what flipped that got so many other people in, because like
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, we're terrible people to ask about this because we're really, really bad at reaching out to people.
Well, that's interesting because myself, like I went through a time and I came here because I had friends here, which for one thing, let me just be straightforward, is not a good reason to go to a church.
Sure.
I followed people for years, to be honest, and things happened and much of my friends left, and I thought, well, it didn't feel right to leave. I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And that I had to learn, what do I do? And then every time somebody my age would be like, oh, I try to get them real plugged in and get close to them, and then I was just a weirdo. You know?
See, I don't know if I'd agree. I think it's a perfectly fine reason to go to a church, and I think those things that get you in. I mean, like, you know, with youth stuff,
it can't be what you stay focused on, which I did that.
That's the thing. I was saying, like, we joke and use stuff like use the pizza parties to get them in the door, and then connect with them afterward. I think that sort of thing is what gets people in the door, and then they can hopefully get plugged in and figure out if this is their home. And for some people, it's not going to be like, you know, it's not like we're the only church that should be open in the town. For sure. But like I said, certainly for us, like we came in and like, I don't know, we immediately felt like it was home.
Absolutely. And like when we first started leading worship here, like your mom took me to lunch so many times.
She talks about you all the time. Yeah, she loves you.
That's awesome.
We love her. But there are so many people like being here with Tim on Thursday nights late, like having those conversations. And I mean, we were going through stuff at the time, so I would just kind of sit there and complain a lot, or you would complain. Whoever's turn it was to complain,
We were
you
good
would
at complaining.
complain.
I
But
call that a character flaw of mine. But
the fact that like he'd sit there and listen. Alita would sit there and listen. Like people like care about what we're saying. That made a huge impact on us, even though like I'm so extroverted, but I'm so shy. Like it's so hard for me to walk up to someone and be like, hey, I don't know you. You know?
you can't just connect.
Yeah.
You just appear
Yeah.
like you can. I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm very good at faking it. Thank you.
Well, that's a skill.
See, I don't know. Maybe now that we have enough of us, like we try to have our own like age-focused ministry, like we have in the past. Like I don't know, but I don't know what got them here, but now that we are here, we should keep them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we also like recently have been coming out of like COVID stuff. So like our ministries were rebooting basically.
That's
And
true.
so more things. I know that Pastor Chris and Amy have done a lot more outreach and like more events, like more
Yes.
like just inviting people in, which that's the kind of stuff that's going to
big
bring
deal.
the younger crowd. So I don't know if it's 100% that, but yeah, like you said, the more that show up, the more like they're going to bring their friends, or people will come because they see them and get more involved.
Well, I feel like this is just my point of view. I feel like we have a great kids ministry,
Oh,
and people
absolutely.
hear
we
about
do.
that, and because that's one of their biggest priorities: their children, how they're going to get their children plugged in. And so that's just what I've been hearing, you know, and so that's good. You know, kind of the kids start getting in. You know, instead of pizza parties here, you bring your kids in here, and then the families start coming, things like that. So great question, Tim.
Talking about kids ministries, shout out to Vicky in the nursery.
Oh, yeah.
Vicky,
Whole team in there.
the whole team. I'm not going to try to name them all because I won't remember everybody, and I'm terrified of that. But Vicky is incredible.
Yeah.
She loves our kids like they are her grandchildren. They love her. Shepherd will, as soon as she walks in the building, beeline for Vicky and
Really?
Sherry. Those are his two. He always finds.
That's awesome.
And once we're done praying on Sunday mornings before service, he will take them and walk them to the nursery because he knows it's time.
Wow. That's so cool. You never know how young that they are already impacted. And I feel like maybe we should have Vicky on here sometime. Let
You
her
should.
talk about, you know, the nursery and her pouring into kids, because so many kids recognize her. Like I've seen Casey kind of respond to her, things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what
She's
else?
incredible.
What else is rolling in your mind over there? See the wheels turning.
That one was big, so I'm trying to figure out if that was it or not.
Problem is, Tim has talked to us so long, he doesn't know what to ask us because he knows.
Because he knows the answers.
So what do I want everyone else to know about them? See, there was a time, and I don't remember how this came about. I decided they were my children.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I
Tim adopted
I
us.
adopted them some years ago.
He has
because they're both
mentioned this.
tall and dark-headed.
Yes.
And
Nice.
Married
it's a
to
little
each
weird
other, but
because
it's
they're
not
married to
weird.
each other. So
But you adopted us after we were
that's
married,
true.
so
see?
it's okay.
So it works, you know. So they're not siblings, but they're my children. So
Yeah.
They have real parents.
Yes.
One time Eli's mom was like, they know you have a mom, right?
Yeah.
We didn't need an adopted dad.
But I don't know. Maybe I needed adopted kids at the time. But
Yeah.
We were just lucky enough to get one.
Oh. But no, I think it's really important to grow your guys' age group in our church because I feel like I didn't grow my age group very well. Even though then I look around and there's all these new people who are my age. I'm like, well, I just had to circle back. Maybe God put them in different places. I don't know. But I have no idea where I'm going with this.
Great point.
Yeah. I will say, like, I felt very awkward for a long time, like even thinking about showing up to any of the sisterhood events or anything. Because I'm like, everybody's like my parents' age or my grandparents' age. And like, I don't feel like, I love that so many people love all the events. I'm not a tea party girl. I'm not going to go, like, a lot of the events are not geared towards my age group because
you want to do the axe throwing like a lot of the other ladies.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, but like if I'm the only one who's interested in the stuff I'm interested in, obviously they're not going to cater to me. That makes sense. But I also didn't feel comfortable stepping out of what I enjoy, like into those things that I'm not used to. And I know like a couple years ago, like you did like a craft thing, and I think it was Aaron Spear, but somebody texted me and was like, "You should come to this. You'd have fun." And I'd be like, "No, thanks. Like that crafts are not my thing. I'm just not going to do it."
Yeah.
I probably would have had fun.
Yeah.
But it's just hard for me to step out and do that.
It's hard to plug into that, especially when it's a lot of older people.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I became an usher back when that was an even more organized thing to today. And I was like 19. And like, I would say the next closest person in age was like 40 at the time. But I got close to that group and it honestly kept me plugged in. It's a big part of why I'm probably still here today. So
I mean, you look at the worship team. I mean, like we're still the babies on the team.
Sure.
But like
Right.
that whole stage is people like we're closest to in this whole church. I mean, there are a bunch of them in this room now, but
Yeah.
should
a bunch is 3.
well, there's a lot. I don't know. Things are hard.
So you're saying
I just want to make sure Shannon knows that I like him and I value him as a person and as an instrumental part of my life.
I just want Shannon to talk to me.
Well, see, I'm really good. I can tell when somebody's lying.
oh jeez.
And I can also tell when they're standing. But speaking of lying,
that was a Rick.
the other day I was in my closet and found a lion.
Did you?
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, "What are you doing in here?" And you know what he said?
What'd he say?
Narnia business. So anyway,
wow.
You want to know something? We watched that movie for no good reason when I was getting induced with Shane. We were going through and we were like, what movie should we watch? And I was like, I want to watch that one.
She was adamant.
Why Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe? I don't know. That was the one.
induced.
So I was induced with both of my kids.
Okay.
That's
Shepherd-
how you give birth sometimes.
Well, I'm just sometimes
I was induced with both of
I get sometimes which one comes first, but the
Yeah.
induced is at the end.
No.
That's
was
how you get to
We'll
the
talk
end.
about it.
I did not go into labor until I was induced.
Good times.
So conception's at the beginning, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So
What
yeah,
a great
don't want
filler.
them-
a
okay,
little,
no.
Oh my god.
You're done.
We were talking about, we were like, our church needs like a young adults ministry.
Remember
And
the young married titles? Yeah.
we said somebody needs to do it, but we can't be the ones to suggest it because then it's going to be us, and we don't have the capacity for that.
Yeah.
There was about a 5-year period where Melissa and I and Shannon and Tia and a couple other couples that eventually just disappeared. We had the young married ministry.
Was that called Nexus?
That's what we called it later, but then it
Oh.
wasn't just young marrieds, and then that kind of just disintegrated.
What did
It
you
became
guys,
Nexus, yes, after about 5 years. So
What'd you do? What'd you guys do?
we would just go hang out at each other's houses and eat food and laugh till we hurt.
No,
That
we
sounds incredible.
Canoed and
We did do some things.
I was trying
Shannon
to
had
get
really white hair, and
camping.
Tony
went
Terrell called him
camping
Whitey.
together.
well,
I
hey.
just remember that.
What is it?
I remember that.
Bleached hair, yeah.
Remember I lost that bet.
I need a picture of that.
There are pictures of that.
Yeah.
I'll find some.
Yeah, I went
How have
to
I
work.
never heard about bleach blonde Shannon?
Because you were like
Yeah,
8.
I'd go to work and they would play Ice Ice Baby over the loudspeakers when I'd come into work.
That's spectacular.
I don't remember.
Please
You
keep
bleach
that
my
in the
hair?
podcast.
That's awesome.
You don't remember? I remember that. Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think you were wanting me to have like spiky the tips, and it just went white. Everything
Oh
went white.
yeah. I wanted it to look.
It was
a certain
hilarious.
way,
Looked
and
like
it
Guy
was
Fieri.
awful. It was more like
We all thought it was great.
bright,
That's
bright
great.
yellow.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so unfortunate. I'm so sorry.
The young marrieds. Oh,
Oh,
man.
well, that's something. Maybe we'll get somebody, like you said.
But we had the same
don't mention
problem. We
it
had the
because then
young
you have to
marrieds, but
start
we
it.
also had to lead the young marrieds. So
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, I feel like it was a good conversation night. We got to have lots of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of conversation.
Is there anything else you just think the church has to know before we go?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming and having a good time. And Shannon, would you like to tell them goodbye so you can speak to her?
Yeah.
Hey, Julie.
Hey. My name is Julia.
Please don't do that. It's got an
And now
H.
you know why they don't
I
speak.
did that on purpose. But.
Like Ricky Menendez.
Yes. All right.
was
Well,
funny.
It's Julia, not Julie.
That's what she wants the church to know.
That's what I want
How
the
say
church
her
to
name.
know.
so church family, it's Eli and Julia
Say
Phillips.
your middle name, it sounds like you're hawking a loogie. Julia Ann.
Yeah. I like to say that my mom made it sound like I have a stutter every time I say Julia Ann.
A little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. The flow didn't really.
I think I'm the only one who heard you.
On that note, we're going to wrap up the cast tonight. So if you are following us on YouTube or Facebook, whatever social media, please remember to subscribe. We always try to remind you of that. Subscribe so you get notifications when new episodes come out. And please, please, please share this with your friends and family because, like I had mentioned in the last podcast, you guys are the only ways that we continue to grow with your support. So we will catch you next time on the cast.
This has been The Cast, a podcast of Bedford First Assembly of God in Bedford, Indiana, with Gary West, Emily Porter, Tia Hiles, Shannon Hiles, and Tim Ray. Listen for new episodes of The Cast every Monday.